सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। So last morning we were seeing the verse number 2, verse number 3, and the first line was, before that we saw in verse number 2, last line, Brahmaikaksharam arthyatam Shruti Shiro Vakyam Samakarnyatam, having approached the teacher. And then he is told that, may you now, arthyatam, may you now seek the knowledge of Brahman, Brahman which is one without a second. Plus it is aksharam. Aksharam means which has no destruction at all. Naksharati iti aksharam. May you seek for this knowledge. And then the teacher began with the knowledge, Shruti Shiro Vakyam Savakarnyatam. And he was, teacher also said that may you now very well, samyak akarnyatam, may you very well listen to the words of Vedanta. Shrutehe Shiraha means the head of the Shruti is Vedanta or the Upanishads. May you listen to them very carefully, which meant that you listen to the Mahavakyas, which has this to convey what? Akhandartha Bodhakam Vakyam, which has to convey Akhandartham. Akhandartham means total oneness. There is absolutely no difference, no bheda, no duality between I and Ishvara. I and you, I and Ishvara, I and Jagat, there is absolutely non-duality. That is why all the Mahavakyas, what do they teach? Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. This we saw yesterday in great detail, which meant what? That from me I have to give up something and retain something. From me, which I call I, what am I supposed to give up? The incidental aspect. And what is that? This body, mind, intellect, which is not really I, which is really you, which is really anatma, which is really incidental. Agantuka. Agantuka means it is coming and going. It is bound to go. Plus, it is only a costume. It is only a mold. It is not my reality. So I give up that from the understanding of I. I do not equate I with the body. Today, it's nearly that. But we have to bring this in life. We have to think in this manner. Whenever I think of myself, in the perception of I, what should be there now? Consciousness. Asti, bhati, priyam. I am, I exist, I am of the nature of happiness. And now, next verse. First, we are not reading now, we'll straight away go into that. Vakyartha, this also, first line also we did, part of it. Vakya, I'm now looking into verse 3. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. See, now this Vakya, we have to Shravanam. One meaning of Shravanam is listening. But the other meaning is Shru dhatu also is in the sense of vichar. It is in the sense of inquiry. So when you are listening, then also you are thinking along with me. And one has to think for enough time on this Vakya. Which Vakya? Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi. Constantly think upon this. Vakyartha, Mananam has to be carried out. Because while listening, the job is done by the teacher. But when you are alone, then you must extend the Shravanam. Mananam has to match the Shravanam. Whatever you have heard in the class, coming from the lips of the teacher, based on the Shastra, now you make it your own. Now you, as long as some doubts are there, asambhavana nivrutti paryantam, how long this vichara has to be carried on? It is said, asambhavana nivrutti paryantam. As long as the vagueness and doubts are not removed. Perhaps I am not. Every time when you identify with the body, identify with the mind, then you will feel limited. So now, sit back and think on this, that this is what Shruti is saying, even though my mind is saying something different. So in this way, constantly carry out the vichara. Vichara has to be done constantly. And when you are doing this vichara also, which side you should take? So it is said, Shruti shiraha pakshaha samashriyatam. Now you take side, whose side? Shruti shiraha pakshaha. Shruti shiraha again means what? Vedanta, Upanishad. What the Vedanta has to say about you. What the Vedanta has to say about Atma, about you. Shruti says, how can I be? And you feel limited also. You feel that sense of limitation constantly is behind you, is always there. Whenever you identify with the body, you feel that. Somebody is more talented, more intelligent, automatically, immediately you tend to compare. And you feel that complex, that inferiority complex comes. We need not blame ourselves for this. We need not dismiss ourselves for this. Why? Because these samskaras have been there for lives together. Anadi kalaha, since time immemorial. Anadi Mandukya Upanishad says, Anadi mayaya suptaha. Anadi mayaya suptaha. Which means what? I have been sleeping to my reality, to my true nature since how long? Anadi kalaha. Since time immemorial. So that will take some time to go. Yeah, of course, if there is somebody like Nachiketa, it may go immediately. But then it means that he has done the work. Bhagavan says, Lord Krishna says, Aneka janma samsiddha tato yati param gatim. Aneka janma samsiddha means work has been done. Only when you keep on doing this. If you have already done it in the past lives, then you carry forward. So half of the work, or maybe 70-80% work is done. Then you have to do only 20% now. For that, it will be easy. For them, this past samskaras will not be that assertive, that I am limited, I am limited, I am limited, I am different from others. That won't happen too much. Or that may not be that intense. But one who has just begun in this life, perhaps done only 30% of work, then the doubts may be more, vagueness may be more, and to that extent you have to work. So every time you feel like that, then don't say, how can I be Brahman? Instead of that, what should be, how can I be limited? Understood? Now the paradigm shift will come. Not the question that how can I be Brahman? Now, because now whose side are you going to take? Whose side? Shruti shiraha pakshaha samashriyata. Samashriyata means tad uktarthasya eva grahanam. Now you are going to believe and listen to what? To the words of the Shruti. And Shruti says, Nitya, Shuddha, Bukta, Mukta Svabhavoham. I am this. So now I don't take the side of my mind, but take the side of Shruti. This must be clear. No, but my beliefs, I strongly feel, it is my very intense feeling that I am limited. No, even though you feel, don't validate that. Don't validate that. Don't give it tea and coffee and everything. Don't nourish that. Take the side of the Shruti. Shruti shiraha paksh. So talk like that to your own self. Whenever you feel that everything is different, people are different, how can we accept such people? Then don't say that. On the contrary, Shruti shiraha pakshaha means what? I take the side of the Shruti. And then you ask, how can these things, how can duality be there? Rather than, how can things be one? What should be now the paksha? Which side should I take? How can there be duality? Duality cannot be real. So you knock off the problems which the mind had so far, the notions which it continues to bring, supposing, even then don't validate. Take the side of the Shruti. Shruti shiraha pakshaha samashriyatam. Always do that. Then, this is not with reference to only our conclusions so far, but there are different philosophies. Darshanas are also there, different darshanas, different acharyas, not from the school of Vedanta, but other schools. They also come up with different philosophies. Then, even though you may feel that they seem to be right, but again, every time you may read them, but never believe in them. You take the side of the Shruti. For example, Sankhyas, very strong. What do they say? They believe that Atma is different, Maya is different. Purusha is different, Prakriti is different. For them, both are independent realities. Atmas are many according to them. They also argue, but we, even though there may be their acharyas, may be very otherwise very great people like Kapila and all that, but we bow down to them, but not necessarily take their views, not necessarily believe in what they have to say. Like, there may be Dvaitins also, Vishishta Dvaita and all that. They look upon Jiva and Ishvara to be different. They look upon Ishvara and Jiva to be different. You are part of Ishvara, not the whole. Then also, we don't take their side. Like Buddhas, what do they have to say? That Shunyam is truth. Nihilism, nothingness. Shunyam, Sarvam Shunyam, Sarvam Dukkham. We even understand all this, but when our things will be clear to us, we'll easily be able to dismiss all this. Like Kshanika Vijnana, which is also one of the part of the Buddhas only. They are also one part of one other school of thinking in Buddhism only. What do they believe in? Kshanika Vijnana, which means, according to them, truth is what? Momentary. Consciousness is momentary. Every moment, consciousness is new. Every moment. Kshanika Vijnana. Kshanika means consciousness is kshanika, temporary. Every moment it is different. It is difficult to understand all this. Charvakas means materialists. What do they have to say? That there is no life after this. With the death of the body, everything is gone. So their philosophy is what? Yavat jivet, sukham jivet. Runam krutva krutam pibet, which means as long as you live, live well, enjoy. Even if you have to borrow money and enjoy, do that. Which means enjoy. Why? Because there is no tomorrow. There is no other life. With the death of this body, everything is gone. This is their belief. Don't give in to all this. And the way they speak, and the volumes and literature that they write will be voluminous. Don't go by that. So for this, Bhashyakara takes, all this comes as Purva Paksha. When you read Bhashya, all this comes as Purva Paksha. They are dealt with. But we have to understand where they are wrong. We will understand where they are wrong when we are clear about what we have to say. So, Shruti Shiraha Pakshaha Samashriyatam. Always take refuge in what Shruti has to say, because that is Pramana. That is authority. So, even if your mind is not ready to believe, no. Now you have taken refuge in Shruti. I will go by this only. Even though I feel limited, even if tears are coming down, I am Brahman. I am Brahman. Understand, hold by that. Okay? Then, Dustarkat Suviramyatam. Dustarkat means do not keep away from. Refrain from Dustarka. Dustarka means distorted reasoning. It is not really reasoning, it is semblance of reasoning. Tarka abhasa. There are some people who resort or believe only in what their intellect or what their reasoning has to say. They reason out everything, that this has to be like this only. But Bhashyakara says that start with Shruti and then try to understand everything. How do they go? Dustarka means what? They take resort in their intellect and then try to understand the words of the Shruti. And then they employ all wrong reasonings. And truth can never be arrived by reasoning. What Shruti has to say is not against reasoning. Understand what I'm saying. What Shruti has to say is not against reasoning, but it is not a product of reasoning. Understand this very well. What Vedanta has to say is not product of reasoning. What is it the product of? Ishvara's Vani. It is the speech of Ishvara. It is Pramana. Your intellect may not agree with that, but it is not against reasoning. Whereas other Dustarka means they employ reasoning, giving authority to their own mind and their own conclusions, which they have come from their experiences in life. Everybody is coming from different fields. And they may have concluded different things. But now you should be ready to give up that and start with Shruti. What has Shruti to say? And then accordingly I will understand. Not that I keep my understanding and perception so far intact and then try to convert and then try to understand what Shruti has to say. You see the difference? Starting from Shruti and then understanding is one thing. Starting from what I think. I think. And then trying to understand the words of the Shruti, that is a wrong way. Then you will tend to employ wrong reasoning. There are many acharyas. Everybody reads Aham Brahmasmi coming in the Vedas, Tattvamasi, but what will they conclude? There are acharyas. What do they conclude? The same sentence, Tattvamasi, that you are, is looked upon by them as what? Tattvam-asi, means you are that you are. But there are some acharyas who will say, Tasya tvam-asi. Tasya tvam-asi means you are his. What will the dualists say? You are his. Because this tattvam-asi they look upon as compound, samasa. And then they break this samasa in their own way, keeping in mind what they think. So, They look upon Ishvara as different. So the same Vakya will be broken how? Tasya, his you are. Or Tasmin Tvamasi. Tasmin means in him you are, which means you are a part of the whole. You are a part of the whole. And there are champions who even say, Atatvamasi. Tattvamasi nahi, Atatvamasi. That A is put inside. Tattvam-asi, in that one akara is put, looked upon as being there. And what do they conclude? Atattvam-asi. What is this? Dustarka. Distorted reasoning. But they write books and books on that. They may be very, very, very assertive. They can speak very well. But we should be very clear. Where do I start from? I start from Shruti. So, Dustarkat Suviramyatam, because it is nothing but abhasa, appearance of tarka, no real tarka also. What is tarka? That we will see now. Like, Shruti matas tarkaha anusandiyatam. If we do not go by dustarka or my own reasoning, one has to be ready to keep aside one's thoughts, or one's conclusions. My conclusions of life may be of one type, that I am limited, world is limited, this is what my understanding is. There has to be readiness to give this up. And now, it is not that Shruti is saying that you just believe what I am saying, have blind faith. No. Shruti teaches all this. There is tarka also in what Shruti teaches. Shruti herself, means Upanishads themselves, employ reasoning. They are not just saying that, no, believe what we say. No. Shruti herself has prakriyas, models, method of teaching, where reasoning is involved. But that reasoning is of what nature? Anukula tarka. Very good. Shruti matas tarka. The anukula tarka. The tarka, the reasoning which Shruti gives, employ that. Go along that line. Just as after having said that everything is one, then Shruti Shruti talks about creation also. All the Upanishads, more or less, most of the Upanishads even talk about creation. And why are the sentences pertaining to creation in the Upanishads? Simply because, or precisely because, they want to give anukula tarka to understand oneness, to understand how there is just one. So they give a story, just as we did yesterday. Sadeva somya idam agre asit. All this was just Sat in the beginning. And then this creation came. From where did it come? Shruti said, Sat made a sankalpa, decided that I want to become many. And then created everything, first three elements, and then the entire creation came from it. Same thing is told in Mundaka Upanishad also, that then Bhagavan became everything, just as a spider creates the web from its own saliva, and he itself becomes the web. Similarly, Shruti gives this tarka also to show what? That what is created has come from this Sat only, which means everything is nothing but that Sat only. So the tarka is given, follow that. And that is how systematically we will come to know oneness, which is prevalent, which is there in the creation. Just as the goldsmith, in our language we can say the goldsmith took the gold and from that made each and every ornament. And while making the ornament, at each and every stage, first he made a rod, then he made chains and all that. At each and every step, what is there? Nothing but gold, 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 gold. So what has come out as an ornament is nothing but this gold. Gold alone in the form of the ornament. You can see this. Similarly, Shruti shows this is the reason, as I said, the purpose of the Avantara Vakyas, the secondary statements in the Shruti, just as like that of creation. Shrushti Vakyas are meant to explain, strengthen. There is one person, one blind person, he touches the leg of the elephant. And then what is his conclusion? Just the leg, just one leg. And he concluded that what is there before me is a column. Then another one came. The seminar is going on, Seminar is going on. Then the second one read his paper. His paper is based upon touching the tail of the elephant. And then what was his conclusion? That what is there before the elephant is nothing but a rope-like thing, rope. This was his paper. Then the third person came, third blind. What did he say? He happened to touch the tusk of the elephant. And then what was his conclusion? That it is a ladder kind of thing. Fourth one touched the middle part of the elephant. And he said it is a wall, rough wall before me. Now, the chairperson, the chairperson in this seminar or in this workshop is a seeing one. He sees. So what did he say? All of you are partially correct. All of you are partially correct. But what do I have to say? That it is an elephant, which has, yes, some part like column. Some part means, but it is not, you are not individually, none of your conclusions is right. What is right? It is elephant. Now, this is called what? Shruti matas tarkonusan. This is how you employ the tark. Not the tark of those who are seeing part. Tark of the one who is seeing the whole. So, this is how the tarka has to be employed, not just blind faith. Then, now, up till now, Shravanam is done. Mananam is also done. Now comes what? Nididhyasanam. Bhashyakara is now hinting at Nididhyasanam. But others may need Mananam, and most of the people need it. Mananam and Nididhyasanam. So far Shravanam and Mananam are done, and now Bhashyakara talks about Mananam. What is that? Brahmasmi iti vibhavyatam. May you always, vibhavyatam means when you think, always cultivate the thought or always maintain the thought what? Brahma aham asmi, I am Brahma. May you have this vibhavyatam means visheshena bhavana kriyatam. May you emphasize upon it. Be alert. Now here you have to become like a yogi. Because why? Because this is the truth. Yes, I believe in that. I understood also. But habit dies hard. The samskaras of taking oneself to be mortal, limited, emotional being, woman, man, old, all this, the samskaras of taking myself to be body are very strong. Are very strong. So in the class for 1 hour or for 45 minutes, yes, I am Brahman. You are all on the top of the world. As they say, Swamiji says. But moment you go out, and then somebody has worn your chappals. Sometimes people make such mistakes. Oh, I thought it is mine. And your new chappals they wear. And their old ones are left for us. Immediately what happened? Brahman goes away. And then this much you don't understand? That this doesn't fit your foot also. How can you wear my chappals? Immediately we become what? There is anger also. We may identify. This is just joking, but this happens. Then that means this is not strong enough. Life and its situations and our samskaras, everything are still very strong. We take cognizance of this fact. Don't overlook. We have to be practical. Yes, they are there. So Bhashya, it must have been for everyone. So Bhashyaka third means the Nididhyasanam also has to be done. Which means what? I sit back with myself, take out quality time and remove all the viparita bhavanas, all the conclusions which are against this. Against what? That I am full, I am complete, I am everything, I am limitless, I am happiness myself. Where is the question of demanding it from outside? No. So for that, what I need to do, I sit back with myself and one by one remove all the notions. Remove all the notions and assert what? I am Brahman. I am Brahman. If I happen to hate someone, then I am there also. Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam. Sarva bhutani cha atmani. In all I am, and everybody is in me, in different ways, with pratipaksha bhavana, etc. We remove all the notions, all the problems which are there. Mainly there are emotional problems. Mainly there are emotional problems. Because most of the intellectual problems are now gone, with Shravanam and all that. But still the person remains. The attachment with wife and husband and children, and let alone them. I am someone. I need this. If with everything the anger remains intact, jealousy remains intact, hatred remains intact, people have to just press the button and I flare up. I get irritated. Everything shows what? Brahman has gone on the side. This is not that easy, you know. To live this, we have to own up this. And that comes only when we spend time with ourselves. We have to give quality time to ourselves. Sit back, be honest with yourself. Mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittani naham. I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. And then assert, I am this, I am this, I am this. Until the time you don't have to do it. Until the time comes when I don't need to do it. In the middle of the night also, if you wake me up, I will say, I am Brahman. I am not a sleeper. Otherwise, I am a waker, dreamer, sleeper. No. I am Turiya. I am the fourth one. Nantaf pragnaha, na bahish pragnaha. I am not this. No, it becomes, I don't have to remind. Today, I don't have to say 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. I don't have to take the calculator. It comes. It has become one with me. Similarly, that I am Brahman should spread everywhere. In each and every nook and corner of the mind, it spreads. Which means it becomes that much work is required. What I'm trying to say, what Bhashe, Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam. See, now there is this word, ahaha, ahaha. This ahaha, ahaha was, you know, it is, there is this nyaya, dehali deepa nyaya, which means, you know, then once, when you put the lamp on the threshold, when you put the lamp on the threshold between the two rooms, in olden times we used to have threshold. Now if on that threshold, if you put the lamp, what will it light up? Just one room? Both the rooms. It will light up both the rooms. Similarly, this word, you know, ahaha, ahaha, is like that lamp on the threshold. So it goes with Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam, ahaha, ahaha. Every day, it goes there also. Ahaha, ahaha goes there also. And it goes with the later one also. What? Garvaha parityajyatam. May you give up ahankara. With give up ahankara when? Sometimes. Ahaha, ahaha. Every day. And it goes with Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam. I look upon myself as Brahman. One day, one moment, no. Every day. Ahaha, ahaha. Which means it goes with both because it is in the middle. So it goes. So what it means is, I always do, whenever it is, at least we make it a point to do it once a day. If possible, twice. If needed, after every hour. Take a break. Because my duties and things Everybody is not sannyasi. Even for sannyasi it is required. But otherwise, when we are busy with work, then we forget. Our old nature takes over. So we need a break. And then just for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, go back. And while working also you can do this. One corner of the mind, just take a little break and come back to this. I am Brahman. Remember, I am Brahman. Chidananda Rupaha. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. So, this is the thing. This, this Aham Brahmasmi should become the mantra of life. It should become the mantra. If you understand this very well, nothing else is required. All this one mantra, which mantra? Aham Brahmasmi, is capable of eradicating all the problems of life. All the problems of life. This is just one. And this is sadhya, for which the sadhanas are undertaken. This is the thing. So do it every day. Ahaha, ahaha, garvaha parityajyatam. Every day get rid of the ego. Ego is who? Who is the ego? Who is the ego? Now, having known that I am Brahman, where is this ego? Ego was never there to begin with. It was never there, but it imposed itself. Where is ego? Ego is what, Brahman identifying with the body. When Brahman identifies with the body, a complex arises. What? I am so and so. Brahman is not so and so. It is nirguna, nirakara, niravayava. There is no that kind of description in it. But ego is what? Body. So I am woman. Intelligent. So I am doctor. I am engineer. I am scientist. I am mother. I am father. I am karta, doer, enjoyer, walker, talker. What is all this? Nothing but ego. So, ahaha ahaha garvaha parityajyatam. Give up this identifying with the body. Then ego will also go. Yeah, functional ego will remain. Now supposing somebody calls you, Mr. So-and-so. No, I am not that. I am Brahman. That will not work. In Vyavahara, when you are with the world, respond to. But from within, just as actor, when he's on the stage, he is really Amitabh Bachchan, but playing the role of a beggar. So when he is called, when somebody gives him money, he doesn't throw away, oh, who are you to give me? What audacity that you are giving me money, I have millions. No. While playing, you play the role. But inside So garva is to be removed from within. Then, same thing in the last line. Dehe aham matihi ujyatam. The I-ness, the I notion in the body, may you give up soon. I notion, today what has happened? Just see. Brahman, which is limitless, has put the I notion where? 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 In the body, in this body-mind intellect complex. It is everywhere, but it is putting I notion. Means it identifies, it joins. Give up that. Let the body be there. But inside, I am not this. I am not limited. This is just an instrument given to me. Just as I have a car. I use the car very well, but I am not the car. You see the difference? I have the car, but I am not the car. Similarly, dehe aham matihi ujyatam. May you give up the I notion from the body. Now, then, Buddha janaihi vadaha parityajyatam. May you stop arguing with Buddha janaihi, with wise people. See, when we have problems inside, and we want to show that only is correct. For an egoistic person, because he is holding on to his ideas. Today I am what my ideas are. I am what I think to be. I have been so much. I have been this and this. And I hold on to it. When that crutch is taken away from me, then I feel I am nowhere. There is now no base. So I tend to argue. And sometimes the more we know, sometimes if we don't think, then we become arrogant. And then even argue with wise people. So he says, Buddha janaihi vadaha people. But with others also, stop always asserting, stop always trying to show that you are right. Otherwise, some people want, I am only right. Even in simple arguments, simple day-to-day talk also, they will always want to prove, I said, remember, I am right. Let others win. Give prominence to others. This is also required in life. Let them feel good about themselves. If they are saying, okay, fine. You are not going to become less by that. So, garvaha, give up. I mean, you think you know much. So every time you will say, this, don't stop it. And particularly stop arguing. They know much, much more. You have to learn. So there are these three things. Vadaha, jalpaha, vitanda. Vadaha is what? When you are talking to someone, vadaha means you are ready to learn. From teacher, there should be this bent of mind, that I am ready to learn. Just as but you are wrong. You are definitely wrong. Sometimes I have no views. I don't know anything on the subject. But my agenda is what you are wrong. So much you hate the person so much, you know. You just can't stand him. So whatever he speaks, you have to argue. This is what happens in politics, no? In Parliament, they fight like anything. And just without understanding, you are wrong. This won't work in Brahma Vidya. In Brahma Vidya, what will work? Vadaha. Learn. This. Now, we have to proceed. Fourth verse. I will go quickly in the fourth one. Come on, reading. We will read together. Kshudvyadishcha chikitsyatam pratidinam bhikshaushadam bhujyatam svadvannam natu yachyatam vidivashat praptena santushyatam shitoshnadi vishahyatam natu vrutha vakyam samucharyatam औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपा नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम्. We will be taking the meanings one by one, rather than translating the whole thing. First one. Now, simple instructions are given. Most of the things are over. In the last verse, again, he has something very important to say. But now, how to conduct yourself. And this is particularly for a sannyasi. This is now for a sannyasi. What? Even those who are on this path, for them also it is applicable. So this other instructions and advices are also, Bhashyakara is like a mother, you know. Like mother will tell the child, don't eat outside. Don't move around. Be careful of the strangers. This, that, etc. Like that, Bhashyakara is telling, Kshud vyadischa chikitsyatam. This one is a mumukshu, is a sannyasi. So he's telling him, Kshud vyadischa chikitsyatam. Kshud means hunger. Hunger is looked upon as what? Vyadi, disease. Vyadi means disease. This hunger is a recurring disease. It is a recurring disease. Some diseases come once in a while. Fever and cold and this kind of thing. But hunger comes every day. And not once, but twice, thrice, 4 times also. Depends on the person. But here it is Kshudvya, but you treat it. Don't be negligent. Because this is the instrument, Sharira Madhyam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. This is the sadhana with which you have to ferry across the ocean of samsara. So don't neglect this. And body needs food. Body needs that fuel, just as car needs fuel. Take care of it. But how? Not as bhoga, not indulging into it, but as treat it as a disease. And when you have some problem, when some disease, then you take what? Medicine. You have to take no, I will not. It won't become all right on its own. People had corona, but no, I won't go. I won't go in it. You have to go. You have to take the medicine. So, I'm not the body. So what does it matter? No, you are not the body, but treat the body. Body needs food from time to time. Do it. Chikitsyatam means you treat it. But how? What is my attitude towards it? If there is a bottle of medicine, that syrup, some syrups are very sweet, huh? But just because it is sweet, I can't drink the whole thing. In the olden days, we used to get that glycodin syrup. These syrups for cough are very sweet. Huh? So that doesn't mean the whole bottle you gulp it. No, in measure, in proportion. Similarly, treat this disease called hunger like aushadhi, like medicine. There is a beautiful verse, which I wanted to tell you. How much should we eat? Then it is said, Purayet ashanena ardam. Half of the stomach, you fill up the half of the stomach with food. Means whatever, roti, chapati, rice, whatever. Then trutiyam udakena tu. Then part of it with water. Vayushcha sancharanarthaya chaturtham. Then leave some space for the movement of the air. Leave that much. Otherwise, total stomach is full. Now, there is no space for water also, and no space for the movement of air. Not like that. And then you don't know what to do. This is just by the way. So, Shuddhyadischa chikitsyatam pratidinam, every day, bhikshaushadam bhujyatam, take bhiksha. This is because sadhus, no? Some sadhus, there are two types of bhikshas in olden days mainly. Ajagari bhiksha and madhukari bhiksha. Ajagari, means some sadhus are like python. Python will not go python, such a big, thick snake, long. He just stays put. And then if the rat, etc. comes, then he will gulp them. He has that capacity. So some sadhus don't go anywhere for bhiksha. If the food comes, then it will come. That is their ajagari bhiksha. They have that faith in Ishvara, that if he wants to send, it will come. And it comes. In the middle of the forest also it comes. That is people's, Mahatma's experience. That is one. Madhukari bhiksha. Madhukari bhiksha means like a honey bee. It takes honey not from just one flower, goes to different flowers and takes honey from them. Similarly, sadhus are told, this is for olden times, nowadays sadhus also have kitchen and everything is there. But in the olden days, they had problems. And so they were told, don't go just one place, otherwise you will get used to that one kind of food. And at other place, no. So go in 5-6 places, so that they are also not deprived of, otherwise the sadhu will take everything. It is also quite possible. And they may be deprived. So no, little from here, little from, particularly Jain sadhus, even now, Jain sadhus go to so many houses, because that is their, one of the commandments, no, not from one place. So everywhere one chapati, from here, one from here, like that. Madhukari bhiksha. Then what? Second line. Swadvannam natu yachyatam. Do not demand for tasty food, delicious food. No. Because that is catering to the vagaries of the tongue. Tongue wants this. So now the satisfaction, ideally speaking, is not to come from this sense objects, from food, etc. From what? From myself. So yes, body has to be sustained, so I give the food. But not only idli dosa, not bhaji pav, not this only, not pasta only. No, anything. Means this is particularly for sadhus. You can cook at home, no problem. But this attitude has to be there. Why? Because my focus is not on food. That also can take away my mind. My focus is on Atma. And real happiness is coming from here. I don't depend upon this. This will also make me dependent. So, vidhi vashat praptena santushyatam. What should be the attitude? Whatever comes as it is written in my destiny, I am happy with it. Vidhi vashat, which means according to my karmas, my prarabdha, my destiny. Destiny is written. According to that it will come. Be happy with it. Sometimes very simple things may be written. Sometimes it may not be there also. In the olden days it was not easy. As you must have heard, that sadhus had lots of problems. They used to be in mountains and Himalayas. Sometimes in the vicinity there may be no neighborhood or one or two family. You may not get it also. Then Kali Kamliwala Baba in Himalayas, he saw that this is a very grave problem. Sadhus should have enough, at least something to eat. They should have some warm clothes, one umbrella, this kind of things. So he built ashrams. He built those annakshetras. Where minimum things, one bottle of oil they will give, one umbrella they will give, a pair of cloth and some food. What will be the food? As Swamiji says, in the morning menu is what? Roti dal. Evening menu? Dal roti. Dal roti. Vidhi vasat praptena santushyatam. And the dal also will be such, roti also will be such, even if you melt it, if you soak it in that dal, still you can't eat that roti. Dal is such where there is no dal. Just water. This was true, huh? This was true. But that is why that was difficult. Now sannyasa is not that difficult. Not that difficult. But in those days, it was not easy. Vidhivathat praptena san, may be happy. Put up, fine. Then, Shitoshnadi vishahyatam, may you put up, bear, endure with what? Shita, Ushna, heat, cold, not just heat and cold, but everything. Mana, apamana, success, failure, all this. Vishahyatam, visheshena, very well put up with them. Why? Because that also comes as per your destiny, as per your karmas. Every moment, karma phala is opening up. Every moment, karma phala is coming. It's coming. So it may be good, bad, success, failure, honor, dishonor, conducive, non-conducive, cold, heat, this kind of things. And if I keep on retaliating, keep on reacting, keep on fighting, if heat comes, I try to now AC and this and that. And then again it is cold, then again do something. Then all my time will be occupied in making arrangements. So, and still I'll not be able to stop this. Because there is the pravaha, the current of dvandvas are there in life. Dvandva means these pairs of opposites, heat, cold, sunshine and lack of it and all this. This is there in life. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkha daha. Moment your sense organs contacts the objects in the world outside, either it will be conducive or lack of it. Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkha daha. So accept it. Understand that they are agama painaha anityaha. It will be there for some time, go away. Again come back, again go. Agama painaha anityaha. They are not, oh, heat is there, so forever it will be. I am being respected, so forever it will be. No, no guarantee. No guarantee. One will garland you, other one will say, oh, bikar, means, oh, beggar. Why aren't you earning? Why are you begging? When they go for bhiksha, there will be some who will say like that also. So this is bound to be there. Don't get disturbed by this. Put up with this. Wherever we are, not only sannyasis, whoever you are, wherever you are, one should extend one's threshold for putting up with things. The capacity to endure, the capacity to put up with things which are not conducive, we have to cultivate that. Because we don't know what will happen the next moment. As it is said, we don't call all the shots. World is not going to be as per my instructions and as per my desires. And every time it is not like that and I get disturbed. My mood is off. If it is good, my mood goes up. If it is not, then my mood goes down. So like a seesaw in that garden. My mind is all the time dancing to the tunes of what the world is giving me. Now where will I learn all this? Let alone learning. Even day-to-day life I cannot live happily. Even in day-to-day life, my mood will always be off. You never know when the mood is okay. So we have to ask, are you in mood? Then I will talk. Why so? We have become so very vulnerable. When this for a day-to-day living also in life, this, and we must teach this to children. Our children should know this. Otherwise, they are not that capable to live their life. Teach them this. Here it is told to a mumukshu. Shitoshnadi vishahyatam, then another important thing. Natu vruta vakyam samucharyatam. Do not utter a single word if not necessary. Natu vruta, futile. Vakyam samucharyatam. Do not utter. Because in speaking, so much of my energy is getting expended. Plus, not only my physical energy, but even this mental energy. Speech is very important, because what is here comes out through speech. So your speech shows what is going on inside. So here we have to have a discipline. We have to have a discipline. Make it a point. Anudvegakaram vakyam. Do not utter the speech which can cause pain to others. Have that discipline. Anudvegakaram vakyam. Don't utter words which can hurt. But Swaminiji, sometimes we have to do, as a part, if you are in that position as a parent or some elderly person, then you may, but be careful even there. The same thing can be told in a different manner also. You may have to say sometimes certain things, but it can also be communicated in a pleasing manner, provided we have that pleasing state of mind inside. Otherwise, we use speech in such a way that the other person is totally gone, burns right there. Scintillating words, like fire, like, crackers, they come out. No. Now to end, our inner restlessness, our inner unrest and restlessness comes out through speech. So we sometimes can't hold ourselves, because inside I am agitated. Inside I cannot, so much is there inside. So moment I find a person, I start blabbering. No, not do that. And all this shows that I am not comfortable, I am not together inside. I am not together. So don't utter words which are likely to cause pain. Anudvegakaram vakyam plus what you speak has to be satya. It has to be truth. Otherwise, don't speak. Okay, it is not going to hurt, and it is satyam also. But what you are going to say is definitely not beneficial to him. Then don't speak. So it has to be anudvegakaram, not hurting, satyam, truth, plus hitam. Hitam means it should be beneficial to him. If you consider all this, then what will happen? Hardly you will be able to speak anything. You will find one of these three in that. So automatically become quiet. Conserve your energy. Be happy inside. So, natu vruta vakyam samucharyatam. Last line we will do tomorrow, because already 10 minutes more I have taken. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.